Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with Steins. We're on episode 4. I'm not going to go into the last episode's discussion. Just generally, I'll just sum it up in Kirisu clearly knows more than she's letting on. Nothing new. I was like that after fucking episode 2. So yeah, I think that is going to be the hopefully the key sort of topic this episode is Kirisu and possibly that connection with the human is dead thing. So obviously there was possibly some human experimentation maybe going on with CERN here in that black hole time travel malarkey shit, but I guess we'll find out. So we're just going to jump straight into episode 4. Let's go.
Died? Apparently so. What else is there? According to this, there's more in Jellyman's report number 143. And that is?
Jellyman?
Your guess is as good as mine, dude. There's a weird-looking database here, though. Okay, what is this? Some kind of proprietary code? F this! What? I officially have no idea what I'm looking at! Die! Unreadable code is unreadable.
You fought nobly, sir. Proprietary code.
He was saying something like the IBN 5100 was built before PCs were using BASIC, so it can read IBN's proprietary programming code.
The IBN 5100 singular abilities are needed to halt missions. This is my email address. If you contact me, I will reply.
Interpreter rendezvous.
I threw a couple of Daru's things in the mix too. Sorry, we've been pulling a lot of late-nighters.
Wasabi!
Wasabi.
Cut it out! Wait a sec, since when do you two know each other?
We spent too much time in the same building not to have met eventually.
And just looky at the sweet Rhinet card she gave me when we did. Good as gold!
We... It's a little tick of hers, you might say. I've dubbed it shaking hands with stardust.
Bet if I did this long enough, I'd reach a star.
Best wait till you can see some, no?
Hey now, just because I can't see them sometimes doesn't mean they're not always there.
I mean, technically the sun is a star, so...
Definitely. Which of course would be the simplest explanation for the cell phone's odd behavior. Whatever.
God, I do like a girl with just a shirt on and panties, and that's it.
Leaving Ferris here in the dark all alone.
Come on, Tita, respond to my damn text. I don't like being held in suspense.
Shit.
Thank you for contacting me. Regarding the screen cap you sent of that code, it is indeed a proprietary programming language developed by IBM.
Well, looky here. Excuse me.
What now?
You were coming with me.
Hey, hold it! There a reason you're scowling at me?
This looks not meant for you, rest assured.
Yeah, well, then knock it off.
Sulking, are we? To her credit, Mayuri felt you might be inclined to irritability. Don't you think you're a bit too old to rely on such childish tactics? Seriously?
What's wrong now? Is it bad news?
You've no idea. Wait, suppose this text-obsessed girl's in bed with the organization.
What organization?
Maybe.
The only one that matters. A big transnational conglomerate secretly pulling our strings from the shadows.
Oh, wonderful. You're one of those. A conspiracy nut.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Interesting setup.
Your hotel doesn't have one?
No, it's too ritzy for that kind of thing. Besides, I'm not really all that comfortable leaving my clothes in public.
Still no change.
Why would there be? It's a washing machine, not a particle accelerator.
Oftentimes, the most enigmatic features of the universe couch themselves in the commonplace.
Why does she know that?
For example, could have predicted a cell phone transforming a microwave into a time machine.
It's not a time machine.
Why do you insist on denying the evidence of your own senses?
I'm not.
But of course, some sort of trauma. I see it clearly. We're struck by a bolt of noonday lightning on the plains of Arkansas at age 5, left to fend for
Shut
your...
up.
You know, this stubbornness will...
I said no. So lay off. I'm not going to get lost down the same blind alley as Dad.
Huh. Who's her dad?
Anyway, the point is your microwave is not, nor will it ever be, a time machine.
Yeah. Listen, while you're here, I'm sorry I made you join the lab. You don't have to stay. But I want you to know I'm not one to hold a grudge. Your lab designation will remain open in the event that you ever change your mind. The 004 slot will forever and always belong to you.
Oh, quit trying to act all cool.
Hey, damn it, that was like the perfect sign-off.
It might have been, yeah, if your laundry wasn't still here.
Hold it.
Hey!
They just
watch
never
the
get,
jacket.
never
I
good.
want to pick your brain about the IBN 5100.
And that would be...
An old PC. Very well. The IBN is connected to CERN's secret plot. We need the machine's unique functionality to decode the proprietary programming language CERN uses to mask all interdepartmental exchanges vis-a-vis its covert time travel experiments.
A PC? Yeah, a really old one. And it only costs 5,100 yen. At least I think so. Hold on. You don't mean... Guess what, Ocarine? I found something out that's gonna put a big fat smile on your face, since she's totally seen the computer you're looking for.
What dimension did I fall into?
What dimension?
Silly, it's the Ferris Cup.
Be warned, my dear. Time demands I not go easy on you.
Sounds like someone's feeling confident.
Come on, think it through. You do know that Ferris ranks national.
Is this like a fucking card game?
Behold, as I take your lady friend here to school. Special code name KBOO.
Oh my
Otherwise known as Kaboom!
Jesus.
Certainly sounds awesome.
When my strategy detonates, your national ranking will be summarily reduced to brick dust and tears.
You're passionate. That's good.
Remember our deal. By engaging in battle, I secure the right to be told everything you know about the IBN. Agreed?
Kitties never lie.
Prepare to face an opponent who will change your view of the game! I surrender!
You what?
A lot of build-up for a lot of nothing.
No
That was your
shit.
big balls out strategy.
Now!
Oh crap!
The intel I
Okay,
require,
you're
if
so
you would
silly.
please, Ferris.
You're sure demanding for a loser.
Lest we forget, I didn't agree to win. I agreed to participate.
But
All's fair in love and war. I was brilliant.
Brilliant? Don't know about that. Cheesy? Definitely.
Silence! Where have you got the IBN 5100?
I don't.
Of course you do.
Dad had one around the house when I was little, but that was years ago. Sorry. Last time I laid eyes on an IBN was at a shrine somewhere in Akihabara.
Oh god, Ruka.
Shrine.
Ruka.
Kurisu,
How is
good
it-
to hear from you all the way over there in Japan. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Posed your question to the professor, and he said that yes, the IBN 5100 is indeed able to work with special programming languages that antedate BASIC. He was right?
Go ahead.
It's me.
Me who? I know a lot of people by that name. Though I have to say, you sound like someone I once knew in Paris.
You're like the most impossible human being I've ever met.
Would you be my errant assistant?
Where are you?
Why would you want to know?
No reason.
En route to Yanabayashi's shrine, if you're so disinterested.
Great.
What was that call all about?
I wanted to know where you were.
I don't remember asking you to show up.
Well, that's understandable, since you didn't.
Yeah, and you're not going to believe this, but the one we've got lying around just happens to be the model you're looking for.
It is?
Hold on, are you... You're talking about the IBN 5100.
Uh-huh. Who's your new friend?
Assistant. So, where's it stashed?
Hey, don't just blow me off. Introduce us. I think you can do a little better than assistant.
Akise Kurisu, my assistant.
Good. But for the record, I'm not his assistant. So, what was your name?
Ruka Rushibara. Hello.
How old are you?
I'm actually turning 17 this year.
1 year younger than me.
What? I don't believe that. You look so, I don't know, put together. I'm jealous.
Oh, please. You're way prettier.
Oh god.
I'll go get Dad.
That was hilarious.
Did I say something wrong?
Oh
Wow.
man.
I'm having a... You see, the person who sort of donated this thing to us made a point of saying that someday a young man in dire need of it would turn up. Till then, we were just supposed to look after it. I guess it had to have been something like 10 years ago now.
Makes perfect sense. It's fate, the tides of destiny. Steins Gate has chosen.
Did John Titor go back in time and give it to that guy? Is that what happened?
Wow, it really is the right model. That's crazy. Things you don't think you'll be doing when you wake up in the morning.
It can't be that heavy, surely.
Hey,
Come on.
never mind then.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Kindly refrain from taking your frustrations out of my lumbar, please.
Hey, I can't be facing backwards, genius.
Sure you can. I believe in you.
Appreciate the encouragement, but I really think we need to be moving sideways. Scratch that! I know we need to, because I'm about to drop this thing on your freaking toes!
Okay. Okay. I have a theory. And I am a bit more concrete on this one than I have been about any of my theories. So, we'll start from the top. Alright, get everything out of the way first, and then I'll bring it all together for the finale. So, the IBN 5100 can read the propriety code that is being used in CERN's shit, essentially, which can't be, it can't be read by any other computer, because it was the IBM was made before the basic coding language, I guess. Suzu, I got a name. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's more than that, but Suzu, that'll do. Yeah, so it's a mixture of the phone and the microwave that creates the time machine. It's not just the microwave itself, and it's not just the phone itself, which is the reason why he probably went back in time with the phone in episode 1. And there was that, connection there. So, I'll have to say. One of the interesting things I picked up was Kirisu actually mentioned the particle accelerator, yet they didn't tell her about it at all regarding CERN. So she knows a hell of a lot more. And this leads me to believe that actually Kirisu's father is John Titor, and the reason why she is always heading over to America is because John Titor is American, right? And obviously John Titor has that connection with CERN. He would know what they were doing with the particle accelerator, hence why Kirisu knows. She was obviously saying, I don't want to go down the path of what my dad did. I don't know if her dad, I wrote down, did her dad die because of time travel, or did he just get too wrapped up in it to the point where she never sees her father anymore because of that time travel shit? I think the interesting thing about this time travel thing is that if someone did figure it out, like John Titor, apparently John Titor can actually do this, if he goes back in time to different places, right, and goes forward in time and shit, and he basically just goes around and stuff with all of these different world lines. With the idea that the time travel in this show creates different world lines depending on what changes, almost butterfly effects and whatnot, would it even be possible for him to come back to the timeline that we are seeing happen here? I know last episode I talked about them maybe traveling through different world lines, but I completely disregard that. I don't think that's the case at all. I think everything that's happening in this show, the minute changes of what John Titor, there's nothing on him anymore, right, is because he's going around and changing changing certain things in the past that changes that. So it's fucking up everything in the future almost. I think just because Okabe and or Kyoma, whatever you want to call him, Ocarine, is because I think because he is in sort of proximity to this sort of this microwave phone time travel thing, it doesn't affect him like it affects everybody else. he can tell things are changing while other people can't. Which is probably why Suzu knew about John Titor in the first place. Even though in episode 2, you know what I mean, everything about him practically vanished. Which is very fucking interesting. There was so many fathers brought up in this. There was Ruka's father, there was Faris's father, and obviously Kirisu's father. Eventually got to the point where I was like, what if they were all John Titor? What if John Titor was the father of all of them? Because to be fair, Faris doesn't look that much different from Kirisu. But we've got Kirisu, yes, she's 18 years old. And obviously the big thing is that someone donated the IBN 5100 to the shrine 10 years ago. I think it was 10 years ago. I'm sure that's what it said. I think that was in the timeline at which 2000 when... on the message board, Ocarine was like talking to John Titor and saying, "Oh, but all of this stuff that happened like in 2000 or whatever," and John Titor was like, "Oh, no, I've never visited that time," and I think, now correct me if I'm wrong on this. Obviously, Ocarine texted him, right? He texted John Titor. John Titor didn't reply. He replied once and then said, "Is this really you?" And then all of a sudden there was connections to the shrine in order to for like the IBN to be at the shrine so he could pick it up. Someone donated to him 10 years ago. I think it was John Titor, went to that timeline, like went to 2000 or whatever, donated the IBN, in which case it was there for Ocarine to go and get. So John Titor, I don't think, will never appear in the show. I think his actions, his actions will affect the story, and you'll see like how the story probably is affected because of what he's been doing in the past, but you'll never see him doing that stuff in the past that affect the future. I think it's just going to happen. So yeah, that was my theory. I think John Titor is actually Kirisu's dad. I think he went to that time, he went back in time to that time to give the IBN to the shrine, donate it to the shrine, so that Ocarine can pick it up and get it. So yeah, fuck me. It's just nuts. It is nuts. You know, I say it all the time. It's fucking convoluted, just for the sake of, like, you know, when you look at something like AOT, like Attack on Titan, it's grounded. It's sort of like, you know, there's mystery there, but there's not. It's almost not too far out of the, like, there's not like almost endless theories. Whereas with this, because it's time travel, there pretty much is, and that's what makes it so hard. You know what I mean? So yeah, just bear with me. Like, if I'm not getting it right away, or I miss some things, it's just that there's so much like going on. It's quite tough to fucking to pinpoint and actually go down a road where I actually am right. All right. So yes, that is Steins Gate for this week. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.